when deputies arrived to the scene of the crash involving Manatee County Commissioner George Cruz.
He swerved and ended up hitting this, and his airbag went off, and so now he's kind of a little out of it, and that's my car, and I just kind of slammed on the brakes. I didn't see anything that happened. I have absolutely no idea.
Okay. Let me talk to him real quick. What's his name?
George Cruz.
George Cruz? Okay.
Did somebody call you?
Yeah. The whole neighborhood. I'm working the special detail in here, and everybody keeps driving up to me.
Oh,
so,
really?
yeah. So, where's he at?
Hey, babe, how you feeling?
Let me come around to that other side and talk to him. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you tell me what happened?
I was coming through the gate and somebody cut me off and blew right past me, and I tried to hit my brakes and curve around them and just cut a curb.
Okay. So you're saying that somebody was going around you?
Somebody cut. Our whole road's being ripped up, so they try to curve around me. So I hit my brakes and I just swerved over here.
Okay. All right. Why's your shirt wet? What's going on with your shirt?
Is it sweat?
It's a sweat. Because
from the airbag?
The airbag just.
Well, the airbag doesn't have water in it, so.
Doesn't have water. Why is there water?
Because I'm stressed.
Stress. Okay. All right. We got EMS coming to check you out. Okay.
All right.
All right. So just stay in the car for me. Do you have your license on you?
Do you need EMS?
I don't need EMS.
Well, we'll have them at least come check you out. The airbag deployment, stuff like that, you want to have them at least looked at.
I live a half mile from this house.
Okay. All right, just hang out for me, okay? I'll be back with you in a second. Okay.
08598. 08598. How long do I go, sir?
Hey, vehicle versus tree, single vehicle, no other property damage. The driver is impaired of something. However, he was not in the vehicle when I got on scene. He was in his wife's vehicle.
Do we have any wheel witness or holding out on scene?
No, 54. Nobody stayed. So we have no independent witness. I just wanted to run it by you guys and be sure that we weren't going to do anything with it. All right, 10-4. I'll get a patrol unit to come work the crash. All right, 10-4.
North.
Just for 43, EMS will not be 51 with just airbag deployment and no confirmed entries.
All right, 10-4.
90.
Does he have his license on him?
Yes.
Can I get that from him?
Get his license. Yes. Give your license, babe. I'm so sorry.
Charles, Paul, Ida.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh,
Jessica, John.
Are you still at the Daisy Place address?
Yes. Yes. In fact, our daughter just drove by with her soccer teammate, and she got all freaked out.
Go ahead and call a tow truck. Start getting that on the way.
Okay. Can I bring him home so he can settle down, and then he'll handle this tow truck situation? We're right here on Daisy. This is Daisy.
What do you mean? Like you're going to drop him off at home and then...
And then he can go home with my daughter just drove by.
Okay.
With her soccer teammate.
Yep, that's
so
fine.
Can I drop you off with her?
Yeah, that's fine.
I can handle this?
Yep.
Thank you, sir. I'll be right back. You want my license?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Oh no, you did that?
Did what?
That.
Crash the truck?
Whatever.
They are 41 to
dude freaking crashed into a tree.
Dude, did you listen to road?
No, he's drunk.
Just
can't do a DUI because nobody can put him behind the wheel. When I got here, he was in his wife's car.
Oh my god.
He's a very, are you here to work the crash?
No, I'm going to work. I'm going to be late today.
Oh, that's right, you're on the island.
Hey,
I forgot about that.
Don't let me piss this guy off.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations, man.
Hey man, you too. I'm glad you're out there.
All right.
Sure, that's relaxing. What's up, man? If it would have happened about 15 minutes sooner, I'd have worked it for you. I'm trying to go home. I'm here till 8. I'm trying to look and see how this went down. She's lying. That's his driver's license and his registration. I don't have the insurance. This is probably her coming back up, the wife.
Okay.
She went and dropped him off at home. He's intoxicated, but when I got here, he was out of the car, in her car, and then there was nobody that stopped to say that they saw him in the car. He's admitting to being in the car and driving. She's admitted to him being in the car and driving, but it is what it is. Single vehicle accident, no property damage or anything like that. He is a county commissioner, FYI. So that's why she's going to be very political with you. Very polite, just take it for a grain of salt. He was obviously drinking. He's got a LaCroix in the front seat. He couldn't explain to me how his shirt got wet. Well, it's because he had a LaCroix in his hand when he freaking crashed into the tree, probably. So that just tells you more so that he's intoxicated. She's working on getting a tow truck here. If you just scratch out a freaking single vehicle crash deal, she can wait for the tow truck. You wouldn't have to wait for it being off the roadway. I was just trying to look at as I was trying to see where the tires went. But it looks like he just missed this tree. Looks like he came up here somewhere. I can't tell where he came up on the curb at. Oh, it must have been right there. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then you got the two down there that's the tires chirping, and then he made it up onto the curb and smacked into the tree. Her story is she was driving behind him, and his story after the fact is that somebody cut him off. They pulled around him. She said somebody just cut him off. He said that somebody came around him and cut him off, to pass him, and he lost control of the car because the way the road is. Which, if you're doing the proper speed, he wouldn't have that much crush damage on his foot. So that's just my traffic investigation crap. But it's just easy, simple single vehicle crash. You need anything from me? All right.
Representative. I love that everything is technological nowadays. Yes, live agent, please. Thank you.
Okay. This deputy's going to do a traffic crash, single vehicle. You understand your husband could go to jail for intoxicated driving, so you need to just talk to him about that. He's obviously impaired. It's obvious. This kind of crush depth for this kind of crash, he was not doing the speed limit that this road requires. If he's saying that somebody went around him...
I will say, though, that this asphalt has been a complete show.
Oh, I
and
agree.
if you get one wrong swerve, it can cause you to go, and people are
to a degree. If you're driving the
Understood.
speed limit that he should have been driving, that would not have been the case. You can hold control of your vehicle. It's not that slippery. I've driven up and down this road for the last 4 hours, okay, at the posted speed limit, and I've had no issues controlling my vehicle.
Hello?
okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hang on one second.
So just be mindful of that. I know who your husband is, okay, and this could have turned out very badly, and he just needs to be more cognizant of that.
Yes.
All right, whether or not somebody cut him off or not, we'll take that with a grain of salt. But the speed that he was driving was not the speed limit. It was well over the speed limit because there's over 2.5 feet worth of crush damage on this tree. This truck only weighs about 6,000 pounds. I'm a trained traffic investigator. That kind of crush depth would not have happened if he was only traveling at 25 miles an hour. Okay? So, there's no reason why he should have been driving, especially if you were right behind him. I mean, you guys are very aware of how this law works. You're very smart people,
Of course.
There's no reason he should have been driving. You guys have to be mindful of that because then our hands are tied,
I
and then
understand.
we have to make phone calls and other people have to be involved, and it's just it puts everybody into a really crappy scenario, and I don't want to be there. The benefit here is that nobody out of the 7 people that stopped and told me about this, nobody stayed to say he was in that car. Had that been the case, my traffic units would have been here, worked the crash, worked the DUI, and he would have gone to jail because he was obviously impaired. Nobody that's driving a car that has all their faculties about them wouldn't know where the water came from on his truck, on his shirt. It's because he had a drink in his hand, and when he crashed, the drink went all over him. And an airbag, this crash in and of itself, and the airbag wouldn't put somebody into that big of a loop that he didn't know what happened, and it's because he's intoxicated. So please, please, please have a very candid conversation with him about it. That this could have been very, very bad for him.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't appreciate not given factual points about what happened.
I've never been in this situation.
I know, and that's why I'm telling you. The way to get out of the situation is nobody drives. We have Uber, we have Lyft, we have places that'll pick up your car and tow it for free. You're with him. I imagine you were with him.
I was a couple minutes behind him.
Okay, so.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Just
you.
please. I don't ever want to have to do this to a public official at all. Okay. All right. He's going to do the crash. It should be fairly quick. He probably won't stay. You'll just have to stay and wait for the tow truck to get here and pull the car off.
Yep.
There's no property damage or anything, so Greyhawk doesn't even have to be involved. So it should just be you and your insurance at this point. Okay? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Be careful.
About
Where is it towed?
wherever you want. It's your vehicle. You could have it towed to your house if you wanted to.
I guess I should get it towed to an automotive place though.
Be a
No,
good idea. We can get it started. Do you know about how fast you guys were going?
I was not. I was behind him a couple.
Yeah, but how fast were you guys driving down the road? Do you know about what speed you were going?
I was not in front, right behind him. I was a little ways back.
Okay, how fast was he going from what you could tell?
30.
30? Okay.
The clicker,
Right.
the gate clicker back there, was not on the visor when I was pulling out his briefcase and the pizza and all those things I was pulling out. That was not on there. It was on the floor.
Okay.
So only makes me think that wasn't working, and then somebody had pulled around him because it went on the. I don't know. I wasn't in the car, and he was a little shooken up. I don't know.
It's fine. I'm just writing the vehicle crash, that's all. I'm sure he already told you what he needed to tell you. I'm not going to yell at you. It's not my job. Just here to do the crash and make sure you get on your way. That's all. Of course.
I do appreciate that, and then we'll be towing it as a drop off to the automotive.
You got a second? Sorry. Here's the stuff back.
Perfect. Okay. So are we all set? Because I have the officer here.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you're totally fine.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate your assistance, and I'm going to wrap it up.
Okay, no problem. Stay safe and good luck with everything.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Have a good night.
You're welcome.
This is all the information you're going to
Bye-bye.
need for the claim. So the case number's on top, there's my name at the bottom, and all the info about these.
Throwing stuff around.
Just flew right out. There's that.
Thank you.
This one here is going to be a citation. Options are on the back. Basically, he's got 30 days to either fight it, take it to court, go to the school, whatever it is he wants to do.
Okay.
Choice. But it's careless driving, like I said. That is the fee for it.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Best
Not
of
at
luck
all.
for everything. I hope that you show up sooner.
Thank
I know
you.
they take a while, so I'm glad everybody's okay, like I said. That's all that matters.
That is all that matters, and I am glad as well.
Yep.
And I cannot thank you enough for your assistance and your help and everything that you do. And, gosh, this was not how I wanted to end my evening.
Sorry to hear that. I know it happens, but I hope you have a better night.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course.
As we do here interactively on WFLA Now, I've been paying attention to a lot of your comments here, both on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, in response to the playback of this now public record video showing Manatee County Commissioner George Cruz, who was suspected in a DUI crash. Now, I think a lot of folks were commenting about the audio recording when there was that OnStar equivalent phone call made to dispatch when we heard from the woman who identifies herself as the wife of George Cruz, Jessica Cruz, in the audio recording saying it was just a fender bender. I think that there was a lot of folks that were pointing out that comment in our comment section. And then also, too, there was that one-on-one moment with the deputy who was speaking to Jessica Cruz. And there was this one-on-one moment where he really calls her out for, in his words, not being factual. We also have all the comments that are coming in as to why we do not have an arrest or DUI charges being filed in this case. Of course, we had the citation that was issued, but we don't have an arrest in this case, a DUI in this case. And as some of our very astute observers noted by watching the video and hearing from some of what the deputies were explaining to both, radio communication dispatch, as well as their fellow deputies on the scene, they were talking about how there was no independent witness. And when the deputies arrived at the scene, Commissioner Cruz was not at the wheel of his vehicle. He wasn't even in his own vehicle. He was in his wife's vehicle. And while many of our commenters, of course, have pointed out exactly what deputies have pointed out, that he appears to have been clearly intoxicated, there is now we have a single vehicle crash report being filed and not a DUI crash being filed because of, in the words of deputies, no independent witness being filed. However, it's a single vehicle crash. As far as the incident report that was filed, and we have that file for you, it's on WFLA.com. We have a write-up for you on WFLA.com. This was a single occupant crash. So there was one person in the vehicle, one person behind the wheel. That person is mentioned several times in the video and mentioned in the report as being under the influence or quote-unquote intoxicated. So people are going to ask, and of course rightfully so, is there going to be a DUI charge filed? Now, the state attorney's office is involved. They are said to be reviewing the incident, and they're going to determine as to whether or not any additional charges are going to be filed in this case regarding Commissioner George Cruz, who you see there again on your screen. Want to play back now the video. WFLA's Allison Henning. She's going to be in our newscast tonight on WFLA News Channel 8 with this story. So you really want to check out our broadcast tonight on WFLA News Channel 8. But what I want to do now is play back for you George Cruz's response when Allison found him earlier on today. So this is now Commissioner George Cruz after this video was made public through public record.
I haven't seen whatever you guys have seen. The stuff hasn't been released to me. This is under investigation. I've had this discussion before. The Sheriff's Department does an excellent job. I respect what the Sheriff's Department does. It's being passed to Ed Brodsky in the State Attorney's Office. I respect what he does. Both of them are going to do their job. I'm not going to interfere with their investigation, and whatever their outcome is what we'll deal with at that point in time. But I'm not going to opine on or speak to a legal investigation at this stage. It's just not in my best interest, and honestly, it's not in their best interest, because I want them to be able to do their diligence and their investigation without all of the distraction. So that's about the extent of what I'm going to say on it. I trust Sheriff Wells, I trust the State Attorney Brodsky to do a proper job and a fair job, and we will move forward when they've completed their investigation.